Good evening. My name is Charlie Davis. I'm one of your fellow students for the Introduction to Counseling at Liberty University. Today we're talking about social justice in counseling. More specifically, the golden rule. What is my own personal golden rule of counseling, and how can I participate in self care while being an advocate? So I agreed with Cathar and Winterroud. I liked how they defined the golden rule as do unto others as they would have counselors do unto them. I think that hits the heart of what the Code of Ethics instructs us to do when it comes to counseling, and that's not impose our own value system onto our clients, which you would do if you did unto others as you would have them do unto you. Our value systems and cultural background doesn't always align. When you look at self-care, when you're looking at advocating and advocating outside of the counselor's chair, more in a public venue, whether it's with friends, family, elected leaders and such, employing the tools of avoidance, engagement, or deflection. Me, I'm a big engager. And I have no problem and have not ever really had a problem standing up and speaking my mind. I can be very opinionated when it comes to things that I'm passionate about. However, I have learned as I've gotten older that sometimes it's better to deflect, or sometimes it's better to avoid and just know your audience. I think employing those tools, those ideas that we received from Melchior, Gomez, and Bean on the self-care for the activist is going to be important. When I look at a Bible verse that kind of leads me towards social justice, it would be James 1:27. Religion that God our Father accepts as pure and faultless as this, to look after orphans and widows in their distress, and to keep oneself from being polluted by the world. More specifically, looking after the orphans and the widows. Orphans were fatherless, widows were spouseless, and especially when you consider the women of the time, they were considered property, and they didn't really have rights. And so when they were either divorced or left alone, life was very hard for them. So looking after them, taking care of them, understanding where they're at, and lifting them up and bringing them into society is, I think, speaks to the heart of social justice. For me, the one action that I'm going to do, that I'm willing to take towards social justice, is I want to learn. I want to start reading perspectives that are different than mine, and I want to be able to empathize with people who claim that there are disparities, because I want to understand those disparities. I don't want to say it's a claim. I want to understand it. I want to acknowledge it. I want to give it life in the sense that I want to see it fixed. So the one action that I'm willing to take today is in a posture of learning and listening. And I'm looking forward to seeing all your other videos.